Hello everybody and welcome to our final Path to Affiliate stream. Thank you all very much for joining us throughout the week as we've been hosting these 5 mini streams just so that we hit our 7 days of streaming within 30 days so that we can finally apply for affiliate status on Twitch. A huge thank you, of course, to everyone who has followed. We hit the 300 follower milestone during this series as well, so a huge thank you to everyone for that. Well, let's get this final stream kicked off. It is a bingo stream. We've got 2 fantastic bingo streams and the first time we've ever featured bingo here on Pixel Perfect. We're very, very excited that we can close out with some bingo streams. So to kick us off, this is Smitty with We Play Blackout Bingo. The floor is yours, my friend.
All right, thanks, Nick. Hi, I'm SMidi. I speed on a lot of different games lately, a lot of Mario and especially We Play. I've been on Pixel Perfect before with We Play. We Play has been on twice already, and clearly that was missing from PPM 3, so that's clearly what we need for Path to Affiliate. So today we're doing Blackout Bingo. I will explain a little bit about Bingo, seeing as this is the first time it's featured on Pixel Perfect before, and the fact that if you've seen one of the first 2 We Play runs, it's going to be pretty similar, but I will explain stuff about the game as always. So we are going to get going when I click to start to reveal the card, and there are specific games I'm thinking of starting with first because there are more goals for those. I'm probably going to hover over billiards, and that will probably be where we start because there are quite a few for that. So I will give a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. So straight away, what do we have? We do have billiards on there, bronze specifically. So essentially, We Play, if you're not familiar with it, it is basically a bunch of different mini games where you have to do completely unrelated different things. This is billiards. What we need to do to get bronze specifically is kind of similar to a really long run called Medal Marathon. So this is, apart from Medal Marathon and all of the really long runs and stuff like that, Bingo is the only other place where you actually have to deliberately lose to get bronze. So I'm actually paying attention roughly to how many fouls I have. It does tell you how much score for each medal on the card. So it tells me 15 to 24, but that's in score. So I believe I'm on 3 or 4 fouls at this point. But essentially, as long as I get between 19 and 22 fouls, then we will be fine. So pretty much every time I am going for a ball, I'm just sinking the cue ball with it, because then that would count as a shot and a foul. So we get through this slightly quicker. We also do have billiards, all 4 types of foul. So I do need to go for those as well. I might as well go for some while I'm here. So we have cue ball going in the pocket. We have I've already hit the wrong target ball at one point. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, whatever. We're gonna have to restart the game. Okay, well that's a fantastic start. So because we've pocketed the 8 ball there, that means we're not gonna get bronze. I'm fairly sure. So that's fine. We'll have to play billiards again. This means at least I can focus on going for the fouls as well. So there are 4 different types of foul. 1 for hitting the wrong target ball, which we've just done. And it's kind of hard to focus on all of these goals at the same time, but we're going to give it a go. The next one is to pocket the cue ball, which we've done. I'm going to do that again. This is the 3rd foul, I believe. But yeah, not a great start, but I believe, looking at this card, we don't have Billiards Platinum. Now, that is one of the hardest goals in terms of a marathon. Because technically it is really fast. You can do Billiards Plat in about a minute. But yeah, for a marathon, it's just completely unsafe, and I'm happy it's not on here. Basically, there are 40 goals that can be picked. Only 25 are going to appear on any bingo card. So here I'm going to hop the ball over the table, and that is going to count as another foul. I believe we've done them all now. I do need to get a few more fouls, though, just to get bronze medal. So we're on 10 now. I believe if I get a foul with this shot, then that will give us bronze. If not, we will be playing again. so that is all 4 types of foul. 24 should give us bronze. Thank you. Okay, so we've now done that. Are there any more bronze or any more billiards on here? I don't. So we're going to move on to another game. I think we're going to move on to tanks because that gives me a little bit more time to read the card. The thing with bingo is that it's great to run games that have a lot of downtime. Games that come to mind like Super Mario Sunshine, any games that have starting cutscenes. Super Mario Sunshine is it has a several minute sort of cutscene section at the beginning, which gives you a massive amount of time to read the card. This game, literally 0 time. That's why I'm hovering over billiards before I even get going, because out of the 40 goals that can come up, 6 of them are billiards, 6 of them are tanks, and there are some that only have 2. So, for example, table tennis only has 2, because who wants to see table tennis in here? So what do we have? We have bronze 5 missions, that's fine. Destroy all walls on mission 10, that's okay. We're going to go through and do that when we get there, as long as I remember. That's the main thing about bingo as well, remembering to do all these things. Scanning through, I need to get to mission 12 as well to get to a green tank. And complete 3 missions with only mines, so I guess I can do this one. Great thing is, recently, since my last time running bingo off marathon setting, I've been doing mines only, which is essentially a really dumb category where you have to, there you go, only use mines to kill any tanks. And we're not going to get bronze. We're not going to get the bronze goal until the medal actually appears. But the same as any run of this game, we can get a higher medal. So we're actually going to get silver, and that's going to be fine. So tanks is generally really slow to get in bingo, but if you get a bunch of goals together, then it is actually really good. The issue here is the tank isn't firing at me because the other one is, it doesn't want to fire when there's another enemy tank nearby, because it's worried about friendly fire. Or that doesn't stop the CPU tanks from doing friendly fire anyway. That just happens sometimes. They are being really annoying here, I'm going to be honest. Okay, that's fine. We've only got 2 left. You know what? I could just give up on that and then just play missions 1 and 2 after this with mines only. I think that would honestly be faster. So there has been a little bit of tweaking going on with bingo since last time I actually run this on a marathon. Because this actually isn't on Bingo Sync at the moment. If you want to play bingo yourself, there's a website called bingosync.com. And there's a bunch of different games on there already, but you can also make your own. You literally just put 25 together in a board, and I just use sort of any random generation. We're on 1 life now. This is not good. Any sort of random generation websites to randomize the goals yourself. Some of them on Bingo Sync, though, I believe, are weighted. This game isn't. It's literally just wow, that's very close. It's literally just all the same amount of chance of every goal coming up, but the issue with that is that you can end up with a bunch of goals that are all like, say we're running single bingo, which means literally just complete 1 line. Here we're running Blackout, so we have to complete all 25 goals. So actually this is more of just a do all 25 things rather than a think about exactly what lines we want to go for kind of run, which is good in a way and also takes some of it out at the same time. But any bingo in this game is pretty short, to be fair, so this kind of does make sense to run. So tanks, I should explain a little bit more about the game. So what we have a bunch of toy tanks we need to hit so we can get these medals. The only one, the medal in here is bronze. There is one for silver, but it looks like it hasn't come up, unless I'm missing it somewhere. We're on mission 10 now, so I am going to have to do this by destroying all of the walls with mines. That doesn't mean I'm not allowed to use bullets, that just means I can't. Okay, you know what? I'm going to try and take out 1 tank, just to make my life a little bit easier. That was incredible. No! Okay, this is the issue. That has now taken out the other one, so I'm going to have to play again. I'm going to get to 12 and then die from there, because then that saves us having to get to 12 again. This is the funny thing about bingo, and just, I guess, tanks in general. I tried to take out 1 to make it easier there, and then I've ended up getting past mission 10. There's no mission select in this game, so I'm going to have to play all of tanks again. But that's okay. Again, because of the fact that Billiards Platinum didn't come up, we have a lot more leniency to reach the estimate here. So literally the only goal with the green tank is just to get one. So I can actually shoot it from an angle on the wall. And actually now we can just end it. So we've done the green tank one, that's fine. We're going to get tanks bronze, so I'm just going to hover over that as well. And that should be it. So we're going to play tanks again. It's kind of a good thing because it does give me a little bit more breathing space to read the goals. So yeah, we do still have score skip. Score skip was mentioned in PPM 2 when Maya run this game. Essentially, and there's our silver, so we do get that bronze covering that as well. So essentially, what it is we have packed our leaderboards with a bunch of high scores before the run, and every time we get a medal, that's going to save us about 3 seconds. That is really important for high-level runs, and in this run, it kind of saves an undefined amount of time. Well, that's a death. Okay, that's a death on mission 2. That's a first. To be fair, that's happened a lot of times, but with mines only, it happens a lot. But you might notice as well, some of these tanks just walk straight into the mines. They don't retarget for them. But mines only as a concept, some of the tanks are really wise about it. For example, the yellow tanks, they have a mine limit of 4, and ordinarily they are trash. They will just walk into your bullets. But they don't walk into mines. The moment you place a mine down, they are gone. They are going to retarget and leave. So you kind of have to be really clever with trapping them in. It makes mines only a really difficult run. There are 100 missions in this game, and I am currently the only person theorizing if 20 is possible. It's just that difficult. I do want to do all of the missions segmented. So kind of with save states and stuff, because having the life limit makes it even harder to test things out. But it is still a fascinating run, and yeah, the chance of doing 5 or 10 missions is a lot more reasonable, but yeah, doing 20 is very difficult. There is one thing with mines only though, and you can actually play on 16:9 to make it easier. Basically, tanks is... we're playing on 4x3 specifically for tanks because every map is shrunk down a little bit. And what that means is every mission goes a little bit faster. That is pretty much essential for any top run because it just saves a fraction of a second to several seconds on every mission that we come across. So it looks like we're going to be hopefully more fine for 10 this time because I have more lives. And this is the thing again with bingo. We can technically do some of these goals all in one game. But if you do that, 1, it's difficult, and 2, I mean, it's supposed to be difficult because that's the second point, really. If it was easy to just clear all of the goals in one game of tanks, then that would just kind of defeat the purpose, really. But there are some instances where you can do it fairly easily. Depends on which goals come up, really. There are some slightly easier ones that we didn't get, I think. So we're coming on to mission 10 now. I think we've got 3 lives. Yeah, 3 lives. So the thing with this is there's no real definition at the moment, but the way I'm playing bingo, because again, it's a work in progress at the moment for this game. The goals used to be pretty unbalanced, so we're still working on balancing for it. I need to get rid of all the walls in one go. If I get killed by the red tank here, that is going to respawn all of the walls. So I really need to take that wall out. There we go. Now we're done. Excellent. So that does make this goal pretty scary, but we are done now, and because we don't need a medal, we can just quit. It would have been nice to continue it, or actually, to be fair, we've already got the silver medal, so it doesn't matter. You might notice as well, some of these goals on here ask for a specific number of bronze, silver, gold, platinum. I think they're all on row 4, actually. One of them hasn't come up. We're going to play shooting range now, though, and I'm going to tick that tanks goal off when I get there. There we go. So, shooting range, I believe we have a goal for a specific number of points. I saw earlier. Yeah, between 490 and 510. And we also need to save 10 Mies. So the saving 10 Mies is a little slow. This was kind of the only way I saw a way for us to balance this. There used to be goals where some of these games could be completed really easily and really quickly. In the original We Play Bingo. If you go on Bingo Sync right now, it is on there, but with the old goals. This is using the newer goals. We have submitted them to Bingo Sync to be verified. Hopefully that will be on soon, so we can actually set up leaderboards for it. But yeah, here I'm just trying to build up my combo. We'll have more points to finish this off. But the 10 Mies means we have to play to level 5. So because shooting range is pretty much a 3-minute auto-scroller every time you play, this is a really slow go on its own. If you get a few different shooting range goals, then it's not too bad. But if you got this on its own in a Blackout Bingo, then it's probably a reset. There are a few goals like that. Oh, well, I missed both birds. That's okay. So there are a few things we can do. Like, if we shoot all of these clay pigeons here, then it will end the round early, but that's pretty much it. The cans as well, if I don't hit those, then that will also end it early. I do need a specific number of points, though, so I really should just play here, just to be safe, because then we have a little bit more leeway when it comes to the UFOs. The UFOs, because you can only get 3 or 5 points from each UFO, that would be a little more risky. Although saying that, I do need to save Mies as well. So I think what I'm going to have to do is... I will save the Mies. I'll probably save 6 Mies in this one. And again, this is what makes it difficult. I've got to kind of juggle how much score I'm on now, because we're already over the amount. I need to save at least 4 of these Mies. We've obviously got 12 Mies if we play twice. Not the end of the world if I have to play a third game. To be honest, here I might as well collect Platinum, because I've just seen a Platinum goal on there as well. Fantastic, we got all 6. Excellent. 678, that might not actually get score skip. So my score skip file isn't perfect. It has a pretty low bottom score. So we are actually going to get the animation there. That's fine. So we've got 6 shooting range Mies. So we're going to go again. So now I think what I'm going to do is... play it a little bit more risky, because that's actually the only way of... I'm not sure if we're live at the moment. I'm on standby for that, really. Or if that's just referring to the run. Yep, looks like stream died. Okay. Let me pause. Are we back? Okay, looks like we're back. So I will resume. Right, let's go again. I don't know exactly where stream cut off, but basically, I did an entire game of shooting range. I saved 6 Mies, and because I had too much score, we actually didn't get score skip. That is a me problem, actually, because I really should just have a good score skip file. If I did, then I would have saved a few seconds. But it's not a massive deal. And again, because this is technically never going to be on the leaderboard, because it's not had the bingo sync randomization. There's no way of me proving that I've randomized this board, even though I know I have. So this is never going to be on a leaderboard, so it's fine. Yeah, not sure what happened there, but it's absolutely fine. We move. And the best thing is it's in a side event. That's fine. We deal with these problems, and that's okay. But we carry on. That's fine. You all missed me missing one of the goals in shooting range. It's absolutely okay. That was just intended. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop collecting points here. I'm also going to miss the birds, because there's about 150, give or take, to achieve in the final round. You didn't miss it as intentional. So true. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I do need to play a second game here to actually save at least 4 Mies. The good thing now is I don't actually have to save them all, so it's fine if we are sort of a little close to the goal. So it's between 490 and 510. This goal used to be get exactly 600, and you can probably tell why that's not the case anymore. Okay, if I get 4 here... Okay, so that's going to give me 505, and we've done it. Okay, that's a really hard goal to juggle with the other one. But we have done it, that's fine. We didn't actually lose any time from it. So that's all good. Okay, done. Excellent. So next up, I think I'm going to do laser hockey. This is quite an easy one. We can't really do much here other than play normally. I do need to use the alternate paddle, though. So I've just seen 3 goals in here, and this is a treat that you are never, ever going to see in any normal run of We Play. If you hold either A or B, I can't remember, you get the alternate paddle, which is garbage. This is awful. You cannot control the ball in any way. It's hilarious, and technically I could get the goal where it says draw 8-8 in this same game. However, this happens normally. Basically once every game, this is destined to happen. It's really weird. This really feels like a massive afterthought kind of Easter egg. I'm gonna go for... So I do need to win with the alternate paddle, but I also need to score 6 goals. So the issue is here, do I carry on playing or do I just stick with this? So I scored 2 goals and then I conceded 1, and now I can just sit here for 70 seconds. So I could carry on playing and technically score 6 goals, which would be faster, but because the CPU speeds up with every goal, it's just going to be really difficult. I've never actually won with more than 3 or 4 goals, I don't think. So we're just going to stick on 2-1, and we're going to play another game with 4 goals. Then we're just going to back out instantly, and we're going to play again to do the 8-8 tie. So I should explain a little bit more about bingo, because I've kind of been all over the place with my commentary, because I find it really hard to focus on bingo at the same time, really. We will have to play another game as well to get laser hockey gold. So the CPU can't steal the ball from here. There's nothing the CPU can do. In fact, in all games, yeah, bingo self-coms are impossible. This is literally my 2nd time running bingo on a marathon. So I'm surprised that I'm kind of holding it together. We do also have aim the Wii remote at the screen, of course, yeah. But basically bingo, the main types, there's lots of types. But the main ones you would normally see on a leaderboard are single bingo, double bingo, triple bingo, and blackout or lockout. So we have now won with the alternate paddle, fantastic. We're going to just get 4 goals, and then we're going to back out. I could even just score 1 goal in 4 games, and that would technically be easier, because the CPU gets too fast. We'll see what happens. You know what, I'm going to restart. I probably shouldn't have. But yeah, anywhere it's single, double, or triple, it's pretty much just the number of lines you need. So there's ways on Bingo Sync of like marking off specific goals you want to go for. So, for example, this card, if I was playing single bingo, Pose Me is a really slow game, but I've seen that silver and gold are on the same line. So that isn't the worst thing to go for. In something like a double or a triple especially, anything with charge is fantastic because charge only takes about a minute. I'm going to restart there. That's 2 goals. So I only need 2 more and then that is it. But yeah, we also have games like Lockout, which is basically a multiplayer bingo where if you... if one person gets a goal, the other person can't get it. There's also other ones as well. Let's restart now. So we've got our 6 goals. Fantastic. Yeah, there's plenty of bingo variants out there. It's fantastic. Personally, I've only ever run 2 games for their bingos. I created a 3D World bingo, which I run on PPM 3 as well. Which was okay. It wasn't the most balanced. It was back on the Wii U as well. So yeah, slight version differences in that game, but We Play has been the main bingo that I've been sort of working on as well. This has been in the works since we got a category extensions page in March. So I'm really just desperate for the board to get added so I can just run a new category. But yeah, here we've got 8 goals. And we are going to see something that is incredibly niche that I actually didn't know until I started bingo. So, by the way, this is literally going to be a fixed amount of time. We're not going to be able to lose any time from this. It doesn't really matter how long I take to concede these goals because we have to wait for the time to run out anyway. But yeah, there's basically in this game, every medal has like a threshold of points that you need to get. I love the CPU just going for the puck every time. Okay, there we go, we're done. So we have different thresholds of points to get bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. In this game, it's 3, 7, 10, and 14. However, if you concede goals, the threshold doesn't go up. So if I won this game 8-7, I would get a silver medal. Fantastic. If I draw 8-8, you get no medal. So theoretically, it's possible to get a gold or even a platinum if you could have enough time, and then concede the same amount of goals and not get any medal for it. This is completely exclusive to bingo. I was incredibly confused when I was running bingo for testing and I didn't get a medal, and I was just completely baffled. But it turns out if you draw or worse, then you don't get a medal. Yeah, really, really strange thing about this game. But yeah, again, we'll have to play laser hockey one more time to get gold. I do see Find Me on here. It looks like the ones that don't have mini goals actually do feature on this card. We do have Find Me and Table Tennis, so we are going to see them. Sadly, we're not going to avoid Table Tennis today. It's a fairly quick game, it's just the fact we have to play Table Tennis. Is that part of the score skip setup? No, so score skip is pretty much just getting high scores. I'm not actually sure how it would add it to the leaderboard, whether it would add an 8 points entry to the leaderboard. I think it probably would. It's just that it doesn't give you a medal for it. But yeah, score skip specifically, how it's set up. Essentially, when you create a new save file in this game, pretty much you delete your save. It says, do you want to create a save file? You press yes. No, let's not concede a goal. Conceding goals do cost 3 seconds. It's not the end of the world here, considering I lost a minute and a half on billiards. But yeah, basically when you create a save file, you only have shooting range unlocked. Oh, we just saw that 8-8 gives 0 points. Oh, okay. That is another thing I didn't know. More observations. Interesting. That is really strange, though. But yeah, basically, if you create a new save file, you only have shooting range unlocked. Well, that's frustrating. There we go. So when you play shooting range, you go through and you just get high scores and stuff, and then when you back out of that, it unlocks Find Me, which is the second game, and so on until you unlock Tanks, which is the last one. Now, after you finish a game of Tanks, it will say, now go for medals. That is the only point where you can actually gain medals. Before then, on your save file, you cannot get medals. So you can pretty much just go through the entire game, get a bunch of high scores that achieve platinum. Okay, we lose 3 seconds, whatever. Yeah, so you get a bunch of high scores. So for example, on shooting range, you would get loads of high scores that are 600 or more. If you were only doing, say you were only doing bronze medal runs, this is terrible. You would only need to, do, say, I don't know, 300-ish, because the medal for that is only 200, I believe. Let's actually make sure we get gold. That would be incredible. That would be an incredible fail if I missed gold. Can't remember the last time I did that. Okay, so now we can just stun the ball using the back of the paddle. Fantastic, we're done. Yeah, so basically you can just keep on playing each game, get a bunch of high scores, but don't get medals. And that is essentially how you achieve score skip. The limitation with that is that you have to play Tanks all in one go. And some people do struggle with Tanks. If you struggle to do 20 missions, then score skip is not the easiest, because you will have to do tanks 20 missions 5 times in a row. Yeah, it's pretty difficult. And also, I can't create a save file that has score skip for you because of the way that save files work in this game. I learned that the hard way when I was making files on Emu, and I ended up with doing score skip about, I think, 3 times, and none of them are usable because every Mii has its own individual save data in the Wii series, and it's weird, and yeah. But anyway, we're now playing Find Me. I've just realised I've messed up. I'm going to have to restart. So this goal is stupid. There's not really much else we can do with Find Me in this game, but basically bronze while completing levels 1 to 20 with 1 second remaining. Essentially the strat here is just to lose 5 seconds on every level and then select the correct answer. Now, doing this 20 times in a row is a little bit nerve-wracking. These levels are intended to be easy, but to be honest, this is a little bit scary. So I am going to be focusing a little bit. The first time I did bingo, Blackout bingo, I think this took me 2 or 3 tries. Now, unfortunately, we haven't got the goal that says Find Me Silver. This goal wouldn't be too bad if we got that, but the fact that we've got this on its own is not great. I don't actually... Okay, no, I do see the answer. So there is a thing in this game called hitbox strat. So essentially, the correct Miis have bigger hitboxes, and that is actually the reason I found the answer a little bit earlier there. We're going to play a little bit safe on this one. I'm not going to take any time off of the counter. And now we're going to pick the right answer. So yeah, especially on later levels, we're not going to see too many in this run because we're only playing to bronze. But hitbox strat is really useful. There are actually bounties on the game at the moment because we've realized as a community, this is also a really difficult level. RNG can really screw you over here, which might have just happened. I don't know who it is. Oh, I've just seen. Ah, that's frustrating. So level 8, the Miis they have terrible spread. We're going to have to restart. That's okay. But yeah, basically there are bounties on this game for every world record that hasn't been beaten in 2023. Currently, there are 5 remaining because all 4 of the Find Me ones have been beaten. They were pretty beatable. There was a little bit of breathing space in the longer runs. So you can do 5 levels, 10, 20, 50, or 99, which is where the game ends. Currently, the only one... well, actually, no. All of them have now been beaten, and 4 of them by the same person, Murasaki, who is cracked at this game. Completely unsurprised that he's claimed all of those for Find Me, honestly. There are still more for other runs, so Tanks 10, and there's also Tanks Co-op as well if you've got a friend that you can run tanks with, and there are bounties for that too. Who is it? There you are. And there's also all achievements, which is 4.5 hours, which is probably going to be me running that. No one else is probably going to be running that for 20 quid. I'm going to be honest. So I'm going to have to do that by the end of the year, I guess. The reason why that run is so long is because you have to do all medals, so bronze, silver, gold, and platinum, and the 5 achievements in this game. So there aren't actually achievements, but there is sort of a thing where the game recognizes it in a different way. So like when you complete Tanks 100 missions, let me focus here. Okay, I've seen the answer. Yeah, when you beat Tanks 100 missions, the game plays a different victory theme. Unfortunately, that also happens for Table Tennis 999 points, which is awful. This is another difficult level because the Mii can be in a terrible place when you get to 1 second. So I do need to be really careful with where I'm conceding time here, because there may be some cases where it's actually impossible for me to get some of these. And I'm worried about that Mii. I'm now having to stall them in a specific way. That was worrying. Okay. But yeah, that run is definitely something. Okay, I've seen it. It's Waluigi. And they're all quite high up, so that's fine. There is a small moment where it takes a little while for them to wrap back to the top of the screen. And that can kind of ruin this this Find Me bronze medal here. This should be okay to tank. Yeah. So some of the time you actually want to tank 5 seconds because you kind of preempt that the Mii is going to be in a bad position. That is Aang, but I'm a bit worried. Basically, there's a cooldown for when you can select Miis in this game. So if I did that there, sure, I would have been on 2 seconds for a little bit. But by the time I could actually select Aang, it would have been incredibly tight to actually pick him. I think I can do this. Yep, fantastic. So I also have more Miis on my system since last time. And yet again, this is all just for Find Me. There's no other reason for me to have these Miis on my system. Basketball is a new one. Guy Fieri is a new one. Since then, that has made Find Me even easier for myself. But I do need to give a shout out to the runners on the leaderboard that don't need to use silly looking Miis for Find Me. In fact, Mura is one of those people. I think he has Miis for all of the kind of CPU Miis that you see in games like Wii Sports and stuff. He has all of them on his system. There are other runners that also do. But the fact that someone can get a top run or even world record with that is incredible. I don't think I could even try. We should be fine here. This is Aang. That should do it, okay. And we do have a couple of dark levels coming up. But then that will close out Find Me. Who is it here? That's B Mario. Another newcomer. I pretty much spent like 2 streams just making a bunch of new Miis, and like, yeah, it was definitely different, but it's helped a bunch. I think all these new Miis, just going on Mii characters online and just finding all of these, and it's made it a lot easier. Okay, so here we're just gonna drain our timer, and then that is it. Bronze is done. So that's yet another medal that's going to count towards the 5+ bronzes. I'm not actually marking those off at the moment, but I may have met 1 or more of those. I'm probably going to go through after fishing and table tennis to see whether I've got those. I think I'm going to move on to table tennis next. That is Pose Me. So table tennis, we need to get silver specifically. The only goals in table tennis are specifically silver, which means you have to lose between 70 and 99, and gold. The issue with having any more is plat is for 200, and there are not many runners of platinums in this game. Platinums are really hard to get, and table tennis does not make it easy. So we just decided to make gold the highest you can have in bingo. Even for me, I mean, I probably only win table tennis plat about 30% of the time. And the other thing is that you have to play gold before you get platinum in this, and the same for tanks. So the ball is speeding up every time. I am playing fairly close to the net, which saves a few seconds. Pretty minimal for a bingo run though. And now we're on 70, we're going to lose, and that is silver specifically done. So next up is probably, so that will also count towards bronze. I think we will do, I'm just saying there's 3 Pose Me goals. All 3 of them are on column 2. That is very interesting. Okay, I've just realised laser hockey 8 we can do. I've just realised Find Me silver is on there. Okay, I did not notice that before. We're going to have to play again. That's okay. So that will cost a few minutes. That is a me issue again, just not having done this very often. Not seeing that goal is on there. The good thing is now we can play normally. We're not going to be on 1 second clawing our way back. We can just play normally and max out on 120 seconds, and it's a lot safer. So, in a way, that's a good thing. Gonna play it off cool like it was intentional. That does mean I will get to show off score skip a little bit more though, which is nice. So looking at the rest here, we also have a couple of charge goals. We do have fishing as well. Only one featuring from fishing, which is pretty rare. Fishing does have a few goals. Fishing gold is on there, I believe. Fishing without catching King of the Pond. Fishing get -90, which has a specific combo to get. You get 3 small fries and 1 big plain old fish. And then you kind of just sit there chilling, like laser hockey. Fishing gold is also there though, so I guess we could do both in one. This is coming back to the point of the goals have been designed so that it's really hard to combo them together in one game, but it is possible. To get gold without getting King of the Pond would be like getting 3,000 points. If you were to get gold, that's 2,300. King of the Pond can give you 700, and platinum is only 2,600, and that's already fairly inconsistent. So I probably will just go for every fish I can. It would be really cool if I could get gold without King of the Pond, but I would not be expecting that at all. It's not likely, but it's another one that would be nice on a single bingo or any of the shorter runs, really. So another thing I've not mentioned about Find Me is the fact that all of the Miis are the same. Only their differences in facial features and things will actually come through. Their heights and weights are all the same. However, their favorite color does come through. If you have a hat or a beanie on any of the Miis, then that is going to be appearing in the game. So basically, they tried to make Find Me difficult, but then you can just have different coloured hats for all the Miis and then make it a little bit easier. And that's another thing why it's impressive how people have been able to do so well in Find Me without having Miis of their own creation, having only sort of guest Miis that feature in Wii Sports and games like that. Because a lot of those Miis, as far as I'm aware, none of them actually have hats. Or if they do, there are not many. So the chance of like finding a Mii really quickly compared to in my selection where I have a bunch of different coloured hats is, yeah, it's really difficult. I think I would even struggle just to do 99 without that. Honestly, I should just find a way of playing without any of the custom Miis one day and just play with the default Miis that the game gives you. Those do appear anyway. We are seeing those on every level. So a lot of these Miis are ones that are just specific to Find Me. That always happens, even if you fill up your entire Mii plaza. Who am I looking for? Find the Mii you're using. Okay. So the goals are always the same. I just needed a refresher on which goal that was. So here we're now seeing hitbox strat. So I'm just kind of seeking along the lines, and when there's one that's glaring that it's a bigger hitbox, then that just gives away the answer. One day I will finally finish the guide. And yeah, if you're looking to pick up this game, I know I've been mentioning since PPM 1, I think. If I mentioned it there, and I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, there are guides being worked on at the moment, and I am almost done, I promise. But that explains pretty much everything there is in the game, including stuff that is completely pointless, like the laser hockey tie thing, because I don't think anyone's ever going to encounter that outside of bingo. But it is still something that would appear. So it's in the guide. So here, these levels actually only appear twice. Find the odd Mii out. The correct one steps left first. And I actually just press one Mii, just in case that's the correct Mii. And it does happen a fair amount of times. And because there's a cooldown to press another Mii anyway, you might as well just have a crack at it and see if you get the right answer. The good thing is if you're bad at those levels, you can just brute force it. And then you'll still have time to spare. Nice. So these levels are kind of interesting. There weren't many Miis on that left escalator, but each escalator has an even chance, as far as I'm aware, of having a correct answer. So only one Mii can be the correct answer on each escalator. So when you are on those levels, you want to just search the one that has the least Miis. Now, here's a silver individual, silver specific strat here. I'm actually going to lose on level 40. And then I'm going to, or not actually lose, but I'm going to drain my time as much as I can, safely. And then I'm going to pick the correct answer, because I know where I am now. That is the correct answer. So, because this level we only need to pick one incorrect Mii, it's faster for us to drain our timer here, and then just pick the right answer now. Because on the next one, we're going to need to pick 2 Miis to drain 5 seconds. It's a very, very minor time save in silver, but it is worth taking. It's even more significant in plats, though, because on level 80, you can actually pick 2 different Miis at the same time, and it will take off 5 seconds each. Okay, that is finally Find Me Silver. So now I'm going to do a little medal check. We have plenty of medals for the 5 bronzes. We also have platinum there. We have 1 gold. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do charge. This is the quickest platinum in the game. And we are going to just do a single game of this, get plat, and do the rest of the goals. So charge has also been designed very specifically. Okay, you know what, I'm going to restart just to be safe because I forgot to do start boost. Charge has been designed very specifically so that we can't do other goals at the same time. The fact that charge itself is only a minute anyway, it would not make any sense if we made it so you could just get all of the charge goals in one game. I have just missed 1 scarecrow. This is going to be a little bit sketchy now. I'm going to continue it. But yeah, basically, 300 points of scarecrows in this game, and you need 325 for platinum. Every second on our clock at the end is going to give us 1 point of time bonus. So as long as I now have at least 31, we'll be fine, which is a bit sketchy. If I miss any more scarecrows, then that will be a restart, because you do get 5 for each perfect set of scarecrows you hit. The drift was a little bit weird there. My drifting has been not great in this game. So the game doesn't really explain very much about charge, but basically, okay, I think we've done it. Nice. Yeah, basically you can do lots of different things. You can tilt the Wii remote in certain ways and you get drifts and things. If you want to know more about charge, ask Theon. He's cracked at it. He's been, actually this morning, woke up to a huge world record, 39.92, I believe. So 100% run where you get all 300 scarecrow points. It's always been a running joke that it would be possible to get 340. And now, because of a new route that Theon's found, who is the only top runner of charge at the moment, it may be possible, which is just unreal to think of. He's just way ahead of everyone, and has been, again, since PPM1. I believe I mentioned him on there, and it's still relevant now. I think it always will be. So this one I'm getting between 308 and 312 points. I'm going to miss a few sets of scarecrows just to try and do that. So I've now missed, oh, that will be a bit scary if I miss that one. So I've now missed 7 scarecrows, so I've missed 17 points. So I do need to be a little careful at the end here. I might end up missing this. That is going to give me not the right amount, is it? Oh no, 311. We're fine. Excellent. That's another one that's really hard. And that is yet another goal that used to be get exactly this many points. So that's another one that's been nerfed a little bit, thankfully. Because it was far too difficult before. It wasn't exactly as broken as fishing. Oh, I need to restart. This is similar to low percent this time. It's not exactly fishing where the original goal was get minus 420 or something. But it's still pretty bad. Okay, so now we're actually doing a category extension, low percent. So this is a real thing that's been added. It's on charge challenges on the category extensions. There's also charge marathons where you have to play charge 100 times in a row. Another bit of a meme, but it's funny that it does exist. So pretty much here, I need to stall for us to finish the game on 8 seconds or less. If I get any scarecrows, then I'm obviously going to have to wait out an extra second. Now that king scarecrow is going to go into the ground at some point. There you go. That is kind of the reason why you can't really play too slow in this, because you will end up missing those kings. So I played the rest of the game fairly quickly. It's actually impossible, as far as I'm aware, to come to a complete stop. So you do have to be a little careful with how fast you play at the beginning and stuff like that. And yeah, this is another fairly difficult goal, but the fact that you have 8 seconds of leniency is quite nice. So I'm going to start going forward a little bit. Again, being a little careful of that king. Don't want to hit that. So we should be fine here. There we go, we're done. Exactly 8 seconds. We could technically finish on 8.99, and we would get 8 points, but that is fantastic. We're done. Coming up, we now have Pose Me, I think we're going to play. This is all 3 on the same line. So apart from laser hockey being there, this wouldn't have been too bad. Although, to be fair, laser hockey wouldn't have been too bad, because it was only score 6 goals. We can exit as soon as we get that. I might actually save this seed for a single bingo set seed run. No, technically there are theoretical better cards than this for a single bingo set seed that I've found. But yeah, here's Pose Me. Essentially, the game, this is a little bit strange. We're coming onto both games that have invisible timers now. So Pose Me and Fishing both have an invisible timer. For this game, it is 30 seconds. As soon as it starts now, 30-second timer starts ticking. And that is the entire time that bubbles can spawn in. So it basically means that you can't clear levels early, necessarily, but what you can do is get more bubbles. So if I play really fast at the beginning, I can get gold medal early. I've actually only managed to do it once, and that's in current world record, which is... It was unexpected, because I wasn't expecting to actually hit that. Had I not have hit that, then I wouldn't have got the goal I was going for in that run. But because I hit it, I ended up beating it by like 30 seconds. Yeah, currently at the moment as well, that's the only thing I can improve really about my Platinum Medals time. Platinum Medals has been improved a lot since it's last featured on PPM, between me and Mura, or Murasaki. He has managed to do runs where he gets an early cycle on Platinum, which is even harder than the Gold. I have never been anywhere close to doing that, but if I was able to do that, then I would be able to improve my time by 30 seconds. So yeah, here, another thing we can get is rainbow bubbles. I'm probably not going to risk it too much here. I'm probably just going to play a second game of Pose Me to be safe. But basically, if you start playing a little bit slow, then rainbow bubbles start to appear. And also some levels where they're pretty much guaranteed to appear. Sometimes they don't, if you play really fast. But yeah, basically the rainbow bubbles stop time, and they also stop the invisible timer I was talking about. Yeah, thankfully, because there's no there's no max score in this game, there's no achievement for Pose Me. Or there is, but it's only to complete all 16 levels, which we're not going to see here. Would be nice for a hard version of Bingo though, but at the moment there's not really any interest in a hard version. Probably because it's just a little difficult. There's not that much material to go off of in this game in terms of bingo goals. It took us a long time to brainstorm 40, and original bingo for this game had 50, which is a bit nicer for a random set of bingo goals. Having 40 means you just get a lot of duplicates, but at the same time, yeah, as I say, there's not a whole lot we can do with goals in this game. And we didn't want every goal to be tanks and billiards. So, well, I mean, I do, but it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair to table tennis. So we're now at 400. Normally I'd be losing the game at this point, but we do have to play on for the gold. So all these levels have specific patterns. So some of the time you'll only be able to have one pose appear. Some of the time you'll have a specific number of times a bubble will appear and then it will change to another pose. Getting used to the patterns in this game is half the battle, honestly. When I started out with this game, it was really difficult, and you start to figure out patterns, and then it becomes a little bit easier. Now, technically, you can pause buffer this game if you really struggle with medals, or also for score hunting as well. But in terms of how fast that will be for a run, it's not feasible, really. But in table tennis, pause buffering is really good for the high scores. So we do actually have a rainbow bubble there. I'm not going to let it drop, though, because if I lose this round, then we're going to lose a massive perfect bonus, which is going to make the medal take a little bit longer. It's probably just going to be quicker at this point if I just play a second game of Pose Me. Actually started picking up the pace for once. Okay, cool. I don't think I'm on pace for the early cycle. I'm pretty far behind, but that's absolutely fine. And another thing with the early cycle is I didn't use the rainbow bubbles very early on. Okay, that was close. There is a way of kind of getting early cycle by popping the rainbows early, because it kind of gives you more time to pop more bubbles. But at the same time there, it obviously means that the effect of the early cycle kind of diminishes. Because it's costing you time to pop the rainbow early. Okay, so here it might actually be worth me dropping some rainbows. Because we're going to clear this by quite a long way. That is if rainbows spawn in on this level. I'll start playing a little bit slower here just to see if I can force a rainbow. It's really hard to force a rainbow on this level, wow. Maybe that's not possible. I do need to look into this, I think. Yeah, not getting one. Okay, that's fine. Next level, it might be more possible. If not, then it doesn't really matter too much. I mean, we do have 800 now, so I should probably just finish the game here and then play another game of Pose Me after. Popping bubbles by accident. You know what, I'm going to change my pose. That'll solve the problem. Okay, and we're done. So we do have to see the medal before that actually counts for the goals, technically. Getting score skipped by a long way, of course. And then we go back in. So these goals where we have to get a certain number of each medal are pretty free in Blackout. They're much harder, and you have to be a lot more resourceful in other runs, like single or double. Getting 5 bronzes in a single bingo would be pretty rough. No, I didn't want to pop that. Okay, that's fine. So the more bubbles there are on screen that get kind of close to the bottom, the more likely you are to kind of get a rainbow appearing. Fine. This is still a fairly quick goal, nonetheless. What I could technically do is just play level 1 3 times. There we go. There's one. Okay, so we'll let that drop, and that's going to end the round because no more bubbles are spawning in. So whenever you lose a life on a round, you will get 0 perfect bonus. What I was referring to in the previous pose me. So realistically, it would be optimal for me to have done this in sort of levels 1 and 2 in the gold medal run. But the issue with that is I drop a single life and I'm losing several minutes. So there's no way I'm going to risk that. So that should be it. I'm just going to pop all the other bubbles just to make sure the rainbow is the one that pops first. And then that is done. Technically, I can actually back out early now. The moment it pops is when I can back out, but that's fine. And we get to play the final game in this run, fishing. So, as I mentioned, I can technically do both of these goals in one go. If that happens, or regardless of what happens, the time is going to come up on the medal animation, because both of them require the medal. So here, we actually only have touchy fish and nibblers in the pond. And again, this game does operate on an invisible timer. Literally just a timer that ends after a certain amount of time. Shortly after the king spawns in. But again, we're not able to get king in this run. It is forbidden. So there are a few different fish. There's a lot of new things that I am aware of about this game since last time I ran this. So there is a limit of 5 regular fish you can get in the pond at one time, and a maximum of 2 of each type. So I'm actually not going to get rid of those small fries at the moment. If you hover over the small fry, and let them catch onto your line and then let go, they will despawn, and then they will spawn in another fish. So they can either spawn in another small fry, or they could spawn in, say, any one of these green, yellow, or red fishes that would actually give us more points rather than the negative. So there's a lot of gaming the system you can do in fishing to make your life a little bit easier. And actually, this is allowed. We are able to get the mystery fish. They just spawn in randomly. You can get anything between 0 and 4 in a game. Being careful here, because I thought there was a small fry there. That's fine, cool. We are actually pretty close to saying what I thought was difficult. And we have one more we need to do. And I think this will do it. Yeah, there we go, we're done. So all we need to do is sit here now. And then when the gold medal appears, that is time. I mean, that is pretty good. That is actually a PB as well. With all the mishaps from earlier, that's a PB of about 5 minutes. So the king of the pond is there. Would have given us about 600 to 700 points, should I have caught him. Pretty much essential for plat. That is actually an incredibly lucky fishing, because every time you catch a fish, time coming up in about 10 seconds, by the way. Every time you catch a fish, loses a few seconds. And my current Platts PB has 12 fish, so yeah. And time's coming up now. Yeah, that is the run. Assuming that I got all 4 of the 1,000 billiards, that is. I'm fairly sure I did. But I'm really, really happy with that. And we also do get the bronze medal, and that's not where time ends on this run, though. Because there's no requirement to get a banner, because that would be very mean. You'd have to get all 9 of a single medal, which is only really going to happen in Blackout anyway. That would be just a really long goal. But that's it. That's Blackout Bingo. Again, getting all the goals in one game is normally fairly long for some other games, but for this, there's not as much to do, and a lot of the goals are sort of mid-range. So finishing up there with just over an hour. Had I not failed on a couple of games, then that would have been sub-hour, but that's fine. It's not valid for leaderboards yet. So quick shout outs again. If you're looking to get into this game, I'm working on guides at the moment. That's my main thing I'm doing in my spare time, other than exams and stuff. So yeah. There are bounties, as I mentioned, if you are interested. Tanks 10 currently has a bounty. All of the Tanks co-op categories have a bounty, and all achievements also does. So if you're looking for another reason to get into the game, then that is it. But yeah, all of the shorter categories and stuff really, really accessible in this game, but the guide should hopefully introduce people to some of the higher tier medal runs. But that is pretty much it from me. Stay tuned, because I believe Shovel Claws is coming up with a bingo run of its own. So do stick around, because bingo is fantastic. And again, if you want to get into bingo yourself for any game, bingosync.com is where you can find any game that is on there at the moment. So yeah, I'll hand back to our host. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. You are absolutely correct. We do have Shovel Claws coming up next. I myself am already on bingosync.com. I'm already writing, because I already love this, and I wanna take part in it myself. So yeah, look out for that at some point. We're going to take a short break whilst we swap the runs over, and yes, after the break, Shovel Claws will be with us with a Sonic Adventure DX triple bingo, and I now know what that means. So we will see you all back here in just a few minutes. Ta-ta for the mo.